There is a very famous saying that you should not judge a book by its cover. And what does that mean? It means that when you're walking around your local bookstore, don't decide on what to read just by looking at the pretty art on the covers or the font on the title of the book that you're looking at. Instead, you need to look at what's going to be within that book. Maybe it's an incredible story that you would never have thought to look at because the cover is just very basic and plain. This is the roguelike version of that saying. Welcome to Cube Chaos. This is a real-time strategy roguelike kind of tower defense game, but it's more of a 1v1 real-time strategy battle where I'm going to be on the left, the enemy is going to be on the right, and I'm going to be trying to take out the enemy while they try to take out me. It is a single-player game, so all of the enemies are, computer AI, not in the sense of like we're gonna burn down the rainforest, but in the sense of the enemy is making its own decisions in the game for how it's going to play. The real trick with this game is it is absolutely just jacked full of content with a ton of wacky mechanics and ideas that I've never seen in any other game. And we've only played this 3 times on the channel, so it felt like a good opportunity to play it again. Let's hop in and play some Cube Chaos. You're gonna go, what's with the art that you were talking about earlier? Yeah, the art in this game is just, I'm not gonna say bad, but it's not what the game is about, right? The game is about the incredible variety and randomness in the mechanics that it creates, and it's truly a fascinating game full of content. You can see that I still have a bunch of other classes and species to unlock over time, so let's just random. So we have a Pyromaniac Crystal, okay? The Pyromaniac makes it where every 7 times allies or enemies take damage, my starting leader deals 1 damage to a random enemy on the screen. Sure. And then from Crystal, we get that after an ally with more than 0 HP is created, it gets 1 extra HP for every ally touching it. Cool, we do have a little bit of a play here. I mean, we're trying to take damage, and then my allies also heal and have more extra HP. So that's pretty cool. And then the combination of Pyromaniac and Crystal is that all allies take half damage from other allies, which is sick. So what units do we get to start with? We'll take a look at them, but I want to get into the grid here. Start me on 0 Nightmares. I'm not very good at this game, so I'm kind of afraid. But let's get in, let's play. So here's the 5 units that we have to mess around with. We've got the Sabotage Agent, we've got the Cauterize, Crystal Wall, Pain Mirror, and Crystal Crush. All of these are considered allies, as you can kind of see in the text where my mouse is, if it would stay on the screen. So when we're talking that the allies next to other allies gain HP, that counts for like this wall that is just a block, right? Let's get into the actual game, and then you'll see kind of how this works. I'm going to pause for right now. So we have some mana in the bottom left. Our leader is generating us mana over time. So at 0.1 speed, you're going to see that, 1, this is ridiculously slow, and nothing is happening on the screen. But here you can see that our leader gave us 1 extra mana right there. I'm going to go back to pause. We can then play down our units over here, for which we have 5 right now, for a certain mana cost. So the Sabotage Agent here he's a cost of 70 mana. He has 15 health. After any cube dies, it deals 1 damage to the cube in front of it, this cube's forward direction, regardless of the faction of the dead cube. Okay, now keep in mind that our leader, every 7 times allies or enemies take damage, my starting leader deals 1 damage to a random enemy. So this guy is dealing damage to cubes in front of it, right? Yeah. Anytime a cube dies, it deals damage to the cube in front of it. And then this guy is every time a cube takes damage, I deal damage to a random enemy. So we can play this in such a way where we could force this guy to, like, we can kill cubes to force this guy to damage something to make this guy hit things, which is wacky, right? And that's just one of our units. The enemy also has units, so they've got a down laser, one they've already played out, right? Every 2 seconds, this creates a diagonal down laser beam. They also have this little sucker, a crumbling knight. Every 5 seconds, he moves forward. Every 4 seconds, he deals 3 damage to every touching enemy, and then he increases all damage dealt to this by 1, okay? They've got some stuff that they're going to work with that we're going to try to figure out. They got a tar pit, they've got target teleport. I can't read, so I'm probably never going to look at what the enemy has, and that's like 100% not the way to play. But we should understand what our stuff does. Cauterize. After this is created, deal 10 damage to the cube below. Heal it for 100, and remove up to 5 poison. This is our way, again, every 7 times allies or enemies take damage. Right? So that's good. Crystal Wall, every 10 seconds, heal all touching allies for 1 health. And then the Pain Mirror. After this is created, this gains extra HP equal to 4 times the current HP. And after a non-ally damages this, deal 2 damage back. It's disgusting. Okay. After this takes damage, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. It's disgusting. So this is really our big play is this guy. We should see what this is. Crystal Crush. Every 0.5 seconds, deal damage to the cube below, equal to this cube's HP reduced by 6, minus 1 damage. And before this dies, deal 2 damage to exploding cubes. I have an idea, and we're going to make it happen. I'm going to put myself on 3 times speed real quick. We need to get this cube down. And I'm just going to put it here. And then I want to surround it with crystal walls because we want this sucker to start getting healed whenever he takes damage. Now, he's got 60 health, so I'm not like that concerned about this. But I want to make sure that he can really stay here. Because as soon as this guy's going to come in, man, it is going to start hitting him for quite a lot. And we need to be able to heal this an appropriate amount. And then in the process, I'm going to make sure we can heal our other blocks around it if they're going to take some damage. Now, this is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. How do we increase our damage here? I mean, I think that we still probably want to play some sabotage agents. He doesn't move. Yeah, that's a pretty good point. He just, like, chills. So after any cube dies, it deals 1 damage to the cube in front of it. That counts the ground, man. Which is intriguing. So he is going to deal damage. Watch this die. He dealt damage to this. Okay. I mean, obviously, putting them in front of my pain mirror was not intelligent. But the enemy is basically just killing itself at this point by me stacking these guys on top of themselves. And then we can work on getting a pain mirror in the future. Well, actually, this guy just kind of snuck in, which made life significantly worse. Let's get a pain mirror right here. And then we want to put these around it. And then we can put more sabotage agents down. Because we really want to make sure that this is what's doing our dirty work at this point of the game. And then what we need to think about as a concept is damaging our own units, right? So how that's where Cauterize comes in. It's also where Crystal Crush can come in. So Crystal Crush every 0.5 seconds. I'm taking damage because my mana is maxed out. Every 0.5 seconds, deal damage to the cube below. So this is where... Stop it. Stop trying to kill me. I'm getting messed up by that. Put this here, put this here. Ah, that just went straight through it, man. That's maybe that's not the most effective approach. But this is an interesting idea. Because you're able to... This is where this game breaks my frickin' brain, man. After any cube dies, deal 1 damage to the cube in front of it, this cube's forward direction. But you're not actually doing damage to anybody over here because you're just doing damage to the one in front of you, man. So we want to have these in front because we want to damage these. Because then when we damage these, this guy's going to do damage to other things. I feel like I've created like 6 different strategies and none of them are actually effective. Which is fair. I mean, that's completely fair. Because right now, like, nothing is dying. So that creates a problem for us. My next idea is that we stack these here. Right? And then we stack a layer inside of here too. But then we send a cauterize down the middle, and I'm wondering that if the heal can work, will this create like an intense chain reaction? Not cauterize. We want this guy. So now it's a bit more effective. I mean, it's definitely a bit more effective. It ain't perfect. Like, as soon as that starts to go, I mean, it's I don't think it's that good, man. Every 7 times allies or enemies take damage. And he is hitting them. Like, don't get it wrong. He is hitting them. So it's working. It's just not very good, right? Well, I mean, maybe it's good. Because this guy is, like, you can look at the enemy's side. They melted everything. So this approach is effective. And once the enemy is going to start to take a ton of damage once... Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's an interesting idea. I'm not sure how effective it is yet, but it's an interesting idea. This guy moves forward, the Shadow Knight. Every 2 seconds deals 6 damage to every touching enemy. He also climbs. Sure. He's a shadow. He's got Dark Return. What about this? After this is created, every cube in the enemy's hand gains frozen for 10 seconds. I don't really care. Every 3 seconds, create a grenade bullet. Okay, I love the idea of that. Let's go all the way up. So now we get to choose a relic. After an ally is placed, it loses 1 HP, but gains an additional 1 for every ally next to it. I love that. After an enemy dies, create a diagonal down laser 3 spaces and 4 spaces above that enemy. That's interesting too. That's actually really interesting. I think that is crazy interesting. Let's fight an elite. After an ally is placed, the enemy gains 2 max mana. That's a terrible idea, but let's send it, okay? So how do we create an effective strategy? I think that first and foremost, I need to get... Okay, I mean, you're just going and trying to bomb me right now. So let's start by making a bit of a wall here. Then let's set up a nice... We want to set up a nice wall of these. This is basically our... This is our failsafe. If they send any units forward, that thing is going to kill them. Otherwise, I've created a wall of pain and suffering, and there's really no concerns here. Once we have our wall of pain and suffering, we can also, like... There's nothing wrong with this, I think. You're just gonna start chucking grenades at him, man? Okay, wait a minute. This thing is insanely effective. I'm just gonna wipe you with this. It's actually so strong, it's insane. Okay, yeah. Grenade launcher, pretty good. Sure. Fearful Knight. I really don't need an ally to charge, man. I don't. After this is created, if there is a non-leader below, both add a free blood transfusion to your hand that heals for the HP of the cube and deals damage to the cube below equal to its HP. That's just too many words, okay? After a cube moves, gain 1 energy. Every second, use 50 energy to deal 1 damage to a random enemy. After a cube moves, gain 1 energy. I mean, that's really good, right? That can be disgusting. Gain 100 mana only works in battles. That's fine. That was an elite fight, by the way, and I just like walked in and made it my daddy. That's disgusting. Okay. Let's just gun. Let's just gun. That seems like a really effective strategy to just gun. Brother, he's dead. Okay. That's good so far. That's pretty good. Mana storage 40. After this is created, gain 40 max mana. After this dies, lose that much. Every 30 seconds, if you have 100 or more mana, generate 1 mana per ability on this. That seems so good, man. After a non-add-on ally is placed, give it all other abilities of this, which is growth. Gain an extra HP 4 times per minute. Dude, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, it has to be this. It has to be this because the dream scenario is that we can heal faster than we heal faster than Crystal Crush can deal damage. So if I can make walls that have more health, and we can basically just have a Crystal Crush sitting there dealing damage to it nonstop, how do we lose, right? So I think that's a win condition. I mean, I think the mana battery is disgusting. Okay, I think it's really good. But I'm going to take the growth because I do think that it has a huge potential, man. Let's try this. Let's try this. Now, I'm going to play a gun. I know that that's still a wild concept to many, but I think the gun kind of effective, okay? It's just the strongest unit in the game, but I'm playing for the future, not for the now. Gun can get us through the now. Let's figure out the future. After this is created, convert the neutral cube below to your faction. Also works on enemies if this costs 10 or less. Nah, I just don't care about this. Store the name of the next placed ally. Every 3 times its mana cost in seconds, create a cube with that name in front. Brother, I'm creating an automation game. Are you seeing what I'm seeing with this? Because we can basically like build it. We can build it to where that stores a crusher, and then it just continues to spawn it every time, right? I think I'm cooking with something here, man. Or I'm not. One of the two. After an enemy gets killed by another enemy, your starting leader deals 5 damage to all cubes touching the victim. Interesting. Every 10 seconds, your starting leader accelerates all other allies diagonal to it by 3 seconds. I don't care. After a non-leader ally is moved, the moved ally has a 1% chance to create a copy of itself. I'm going to re-roll because I don't think any of these are good. You start with a free Crystal Dragon Egg. I just don't care. After you place an ally, it replicates forward every X seconds, where X is thrice its cost until you place another ally. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? That is so interesting. After an ally dies, if its mana cost was 50 or greater, create a crow 10 spaces above it that moves towards enemies and dive attacks them. Okay, I have to take this, but I'm not positive that it's useful. Okay? And now we do have to make some tough decisions, which are, I gotta get rid of some stuff. I know it looks crazy, but I don't think the sabotage agent is actually useful. Well, no, it is useful. No, it is useful, man. It is useful. Because it has to still... It's part of our crystal wall nonsense. Like, that's our win con. Maybe we don't care about cauterize. Yeah, maybe I don't care about cauterize. Let's remove that. No, we still have some weird stuff. Like, we still have this vector eye. I know you're gonna find this as a shocker. I'm gonna play a gun. Just kind of think that the gun, kind of an effective piece of complicated media for me. Now, you appear to be a little protected, my guy. The boss shield. Every third time this takes damage, deal 2 damage to the first enemy any distance. That means that it's probably hitting my guy, which is kind of mean, to be honest. But we are breaking the boss shield, which is cool. I'm gonna get another gun for one, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm healing my gun so that my gun stops taking damage. And then the reality is that the boss is screwed because my gun is too strong. I mean, it's just an extremely effective gun. And you're toast. Okay. Maybe the gun can just send me to the finish line. That's what I'm thinking so far. After you place a cube, if it costs 2 or more, refund the mana. I mean, dude, that rocks, right? That rocks. Rapid gun? Brother. Am I just a gun build? Like, is this what I am? Is I'm actually just gun. See, here's the thing. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm gun. I'm changing all of my mind on this. Spend gold to upgrade perks. I still think laser command is kind of fun, but I think that this is kind of fun too. Placing it forward though is not useful. So this is fun. I'm gonna keep up with that. Send me into the vortex. I mean, we're gonna move on to the next area. I'm going to still play like know what I'm doing. The big trick here is I think that vector eye and then our guns is disgusting. Okay, I mean, like I think it's really good. I think it's really, really good. And I'm not doing anything with growth right now. So I think that I think you want to play a gun. Okay. We're going to want to, okay, gun immediately died. Why did gun immediately die? I don't know, but let's play like a couple of these just because I'm a little bit afraid of them. And then I want to prepare a gun. There is like a Gila monster coming towards me. Anybody seeing the Gila monster? He's got a vibe for sure. The bright side is that I am killing the boss before anything goes wrong, so it's kind of fine. After this is created, if there is an enemy below, add an allied copy to your hand. Eldritch Flesh. Before this takes damage, negate 5 of it. After this takes damage, 70% chance to do nothing. After this dies, a random allied leader loses max HP. I mean, it is okay because it's something that can get... I mean, dude, it's something that can get hit. Right? Now, after this dies, a random allied leader loses max HP and takes damage equal to it. That's scary. But I think it's really interesting, right? After this is created, invert gravity. I mean, look, that definitely sounds fun, but so does Eldritch Flesh. So we're gonna see what we can do with this. Bad mental health. Everything here is bad for you, but everything here is good for you. Gain 30 gold. After each battle, 1% chance to lose a life. That's terrible. Gain 100. All mana burn and self-damage is multiplied by 10. It's also pretty bad. Gain 10 gold. After you place a cube, 1% chance it creates a random cube above it. That is, I mean, just insane. And a terrible idea, right? I mean, that's just a disgustingly bad idea. That sounds great. That sounds great. First enemy placed each battle gains 100 HP, can't move, and looks golden. Okay, sure. Let's bring in the Eldritch Horror into our life. At this point, Printer, we're just not doing anything with at this point. So I'm going to bring in some flesh. And my idea here is I want... There is a little frog jumping towards me. Anybody else see the frog jumping towards me? He can jump right over me. Okay, we're going to need to take care of the frog right quick. I need you to stay away from me, my guy. Now, the Eldritch Horror... You need to... What the hell is this, man? Oh, yeah, that's right. Random cubes can get placed on top of things. I need these to all heal now. That's a big part of what we're doing, is healing the Eldritch Flesh. A lot. And to be honest with you, what we genuinely would like to do is... Yeah, okay. I died because my own Eldritch Flesh deleted me. Which was definitely something that could happen. So that's fair. Say goodbye to one of my lives. Not great. Not great. Yeah, I think that strategy is not going to work. I think I should go back to gun. I think gun is very effective. Vortex gun, going to be very good. Let's take a look at these. Every minute, every ally creates a firework enemy in a random position. Fireworks explode and are immediately killed by their creator. After an ally is created, deals 3 damage to any ally in front and then heals for 3. That's so good. It's insane. No, I mean, like, it has to be that. It's really, really disgustingly good. 15 starting mana is also good, but this is so good, man. Just really, really good. After allies have dealt a total of 700, ally damage is increased by 1. Starting leader takes 2 less damage from allies and neutral cubes. Oh, that's really good. It has to be that, man. Now, it is a boss battle. Again, the Eldritch Horror is not a good idea, but I feel compelled to use it repeatedly, which is, like, definitely a me problem. I'm not going to deny that. It's a big old me problem. What exactly are... What are the blue cubes of hell? I gotta know, right? This is water. Okay, yeah, blue cube of hell. It's just water, brother. No biggie. Just don't worry about it. There's some water. Our gun is still doing great things. I'm very happy with our gun. I'd like to get another gun in, but I need to get a vortex in first. Because this is how we're gonna start doing actual damage. I mean, our gun is maybe going to do everything because the boss is just creating water. Like, he only cares about creating water, which is fine. Yeah, I mean, as soon as this goes, it just goes, man. That's our win con. I do think that we had something cooking here, but the guns are way too strong. We have to do it. After our ally is created without being placed, teleport in front of this. If it doesn't have strength, also give it a strength. Every 5 seconds, create a laser beam in front. I don't know. Every 10 seconds, grant fervor. Before this deals damage, deal 1 more, then remove. The large abomination. 2 times after this dies, create an abomination piece and moves forward. Does damage to things. I'm sure there's some fun stuff. This seems the most fun. And it does play into what we're doing. I do have to gain a curse. Every 10 seconds, every ally which is touching no empty space deals 1 damage to itself. It's amazing. This actually is the greatest curse of all time, man. That's so good. That's literally, I mean, that is actually helping us, which is amazing. And then we want to buff this. I can go into debt. Before your starting leader takes damage from allies or neutral cubes, it deals that much damage to a random enemy. Whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Before your starting leader takes damage from allies, it deals that much damage to a random enemy, and all the damage is negated? Hold on. I know I'm now in debt, which is scary. It's really scary. There's consequences to being in debt. But you have to realize now that the Eldritch is disgusting, right? We're back on Eldritch hell. It has to be. It has to be. Eldritch me the frick up, man. Because now the Eldritch taking damage is going to deal damage back to the enemy. And I'm never going to take the damage. So this guy's going to come over, but he's going to start hitting the Eldritch, and it is not going to be good for you. It's going to result in like a million things dying. And that's great. Okay? So the Eldritch is still, this is good. You're chucking along, which is fine. And we got a little lad coming. The Dwarven Debt Collector. Okay, come collect my debt. That's fine. I do still think we want some gun. Hey, what's going on here? Bullet. Okay. Bullet seems bad. We need to get a Vector Eye in because that's like a win condition. But obviously the Eldritch, I think, is still kind of effectively a win condition. And this thing is just charging like crazy. Now, I have taken some damage. No, I have not taken damage. The Eldritch is still decreasing my max HP. But I'm not taking damage. Can he subtract my max HP down to 0? Is that a thing? That's, I guess, the question of the hour. I need to bullet, okay? I need the bullet. I'm sorry. And then I need to place this other bullet because I'm starting to get like a little bit concerned. Keep in mind that the bullets are scaling the vortex as well, so it is extremely effective to do this. This is just good enough to win, believe it or not. I know that it looks a little scary, but it is absolutely good enough to win. And another vortex is just gonna scale it twice as fast. You did kill all my gun. I mean, let's Crystal Crush you real quick. Hey, that kind of did not do much. This guy is coming in strong. He's coming in strong. I need to flesh you. The flesh feeds. The flesh feeds. It's still a little scary. I think we're fine, okay? I really do. It was a little messy, that's all. If I can, I need to get gun down though. Here, do this, please. Gun will help. Because gun take care of enemy. Yeah, we're good, man. We're good. Now all of the enemies are dead. We can get a gun down here. You got nothing, man. You got nothing. You'll just get melted. My mana continues to, I need to be so careful. Because as soon as my mana is all the way up, I have to place immediately. Okay. Little messy. Every second, if the cube behind this is an enemy, move it backwards, move this backwards, otherwise move forwards. Just get out of here. Every minute, gain an energy. When this has at least 10 energy for the first time, kill every cube which has empty space above. What? That's absurd. And I will accidentally ruin everything I'm doing. Nuclear bomb. Before this dies, deal 5 damage to every cube 5 away. Before this dies, deal 10 damage to touching. Apply 5 to non-allies. Poison. After this dies, create neutral fallout. I mean, I have to take it, but I don't want to use it, man. I'm kind of scared of it. When an enemy is created, it gains leader and the ability to generate 1 mana every 3 minutes. That's pretty bad. I'm not going to play a nuclear weapon here. I also should probably, like, put other things into my build. That seems intelligent. Yeah. Let's get 1 Eldritch down. And then we're going to make sure we put a Vortex down. Well, I think that I want to heal my Eldritch first. And then we're going to get... I keep on calling it a vortex. It's a vector eye. It's whatever, okay? It's the same thing, different name. Then we can get a gun in. Well, can't really get the gun in quite yet. Honestly, still having Eldritch here is good. Because Eldritch just scales everything else, I think. I mean, it's tough to tell sometimes. The idea that I still am intrigued by, that I think will just create, like, a chain reaction of hell, is to do this. Yeah, I killed myself. Okay. Yeah, so that's too much. That's too much. Because just absolutely bodying the Eldritch Flesh just annihilates my leader. So that's a pretty good point. That's a pretty good point. Let's not do that ever again. Let's just get back to Old Faithful. Let's grab a gun, okay? I still think that having a gun, pretty solid play for us moving forward. And then I'm gonna make sure we get, believe it or not, a second gun. And then, just gonna kind of go from there, man. I still like these guns we got. Now, you have chewed through my gun. The enemy has 2 health, man. Okay, beautiful. That went fine. Every 3 seconds, create shield cubes in the shield area in front of this. I do love that to protect my leader. After this takes damage, deal 1 damage to every enemy in this row. I kind of like you too. Not the band. I'm not a huge fan. Sunday, bloody sun. Either that's like the only one. With or without shoes, okay. I don't know, man. I'm sure that these are fine. Right? This is only 25 mana, so I'm going to take that. I have like a million consumables. I'm not using any of them, man. That's the problem with this game, and it's not a problem, it's a blessing. There's too much going on. After you lose a battle, return to the beginning of a new map? No. Every 10 seconds, a second happens to every cube in your hand. Yeah, that seems good to me. Let's do that. Starting leader takes 1 less damage from everything. Again, it's really good, okay? It's really good. After an ally is created but not placed, 30% chance creates a copy of itself below and above. That's really cool, okay? Because of the fact... I guess I also can control the order in which these exist. Triple shot is last. After you place an ally, it replicates forward every X seconds where X is thrice its cost, and then triple shot, right? So that, we want paradox clock at the bottom. Am I cooking with this? I think. The idea here would be the idea is potentially to just have walls, man. Because if we wall, then that wall is going to replicate itself. Yeah. And then there's a chance that, well, but now I'm out of mana. Okay, let's do some protection here. We need some damage, man. We need some damage. I need some... the flesh, it feeds, man. The flesh, it feeds. I know that there's a chance that our guy's gonna take a little bit of heat from this, but we gotta make it happen. Okay. Now, you're gonna look at this and go, Tyler, why'd you just place your most important piece out above where it, like, genuinely matters? It's a great question. It's because I didn't want to put anything next to my leader because I got a little scared. We're cooked. The flesh, it do be feeding right now. Maybe I do want to have this stuff next to this guy so I can heal him. I don't know why I've never even thought of that as an idea, to heal my leader. Which is for sure a question mark why I haven't thought of that. We can also get back to the Old Faithful strategy here. which is to have these guys, and then, I mean, stuff is taking damage, and my leader is he's going. But then we would have to create like a lot of these bricks going up. I don't know what this thing is. A reconverbulator. Of course, the reconverbulator. Every 5 seconds, kill the cube behind this. Ah, and then when it does that, it adds a random cube to my hand. Are you seeing my hand on the left? It was going insane for a little bit. I'm gonna need you to meet the Eldritch Horror real quick. I know that this looks horrible, but it's actually like great. Efficient wall. After this created, cubes with the same name in your hand cost 1 less. Can only be placed with a reconverbulator behind. Okay. The Angry Croakling. Go, brother. Get sending it. I don't know what any of this stuff does, and I think that makes it even more fun. I'm just placing things. You want to get some gun going? I'm a big fan of gun. Let's play some gun. I need a freaking vector eye, man. Like, the only way that we make damage happen here is with a vector eye, because I just immediately murdered it when I put it in. It's a little annoying. Please, can I place it? Okay. Then I prepare gun. It also helps because then I have something healing it. So this is going to like hypercharge the vector eye, because every time my bullets move, you're toast, man. It was a little place a thing real quick. I almost ran into too much crap. Yeah, this is your hypercharge dead. Okay. I don't know. I don't think that went great, but it's okay. Gain the remove hand cube perk. And notice that your hand has been bit full. It offers a deal. Nah, I don't really care. It's all good. My hand was only full because of the thing. Every 5 seconds, generate 2 mana. After this is created, gain 10 max mana. Dude, it would be really nice to have more mana. Like, everything gets easier. That's a win. I won the game. That's crazy. I am good to accept that win. I have won the game. I have gained some XP. I've unlocked some new perks. It's very exciting. I unlocked 43 new perks. My bad. It's just a couple for sure. It's just an alarming amount of content in the game, and it's this chaotic every single time. I think we got a little lucky because gun good, okay? Gun pretty good. But we were also doing some really weird stuff that entire time, and I loved every second of it. Hopefully you did. I kind of want to play a little bit more Cube Chaos these next couple days, so if this is something you're interested in, let me know. For now, thanks so much for watching. As always, liking the video, much appreciated. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.